And at what point did then it become irresistible that Michael Carrick has to become a really strong part of this conversation about United's future?
I think if United win every game from now till the end of the season, I still wouldn't be giving him the job.
Why?
I just think they need something, a bigger, more experienced manager. Simple as that.
First, it was Jamie Carragher questioning Carrick almost immediately after his first game.
I don't believe Manchester United could win the league with Michael Carrick as the manager, or Chelsea could win the league with Liam Rosenior as a manager. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, I'm only giving my honest opinion of what I feel and their sort of background experience as managers, what they've done in the past. You know, you've got to be special. When you think of the managers who won the Premier League, there's something really special about 99% of them, I would say. And I just think probably Michael Carrick likes that and Liam Rosenior likes that. I might be proven wrong, but that's why I would take Michael Carrick out of that.
Then came the second match, away to the league leaders, a place United had not won at in 8 years. And Carrick's team went there and scored 3. Now it's Roy Keane, and even Gary Neville is suggesting that, whatever happens, Michael Carrick should eventually hand things over to someone bigger and better. At that point you have to pause, because this is no longer about one result, or 2 games, or even league position. It raises a different question altogether. Are these pundits analysing what's actually happening on the pitch? Or are they working from a fixed idea of what Manchester United should look like? Because when the goalposts keep moving, it becomes hard to believe this is purely about performance. Carrick wins, and the response is caution. Carrick beats City, and it's too early. Carrick beats Arsenal away, and suddenly results don't matter at all. So what exactly is he being measured against? And if success on the pitch is not enough to earn serious consideration, then maybe this conversation isn't about Michael Carrick at all. Maybe it's about something else entirely. Because here's the part that keeps getting ignored. Manchester United have already done exactly what Roy Keane is asking for. They have already gone out and hired the bigger manager. They have already chased experience. They have already chased reputation. And it hasn't worked. Since Sir Alex Ferguson left, United have tried every version of the so-called elite option. They tried the chosen successor, they tried the serial winner, they tried the tactical genius, they tried the culture builder, they tried the modern progressive coach. Different styles, different philosophies, different CVs, same ending. 6 permanent managers in 13 years. And now the club is staring at the possibility of a 7th. That isn't bad luck. That's a pattern. So when Roy Keane says United needs someone bigger and better, the obvious question is bigger and better than who? Because on paper, many of the managers United hired were bigger and more decorated than Michael Carrick will ever be at this stage. And yet none of them managed what Carrick has already done in the space of 2 weeks. Win at Old Trafford against City, win at the Emirates against Arsenal, score 3 in a stadium where United had not won in 8 years. This is not about pretending Carrick is the finished article. It's about recognizing that the club has exhausted the elite manager experiment. At some point, you have to stop asking who looks right on arrival and start asking who is actually delivering clarity, calm, and results. And that's why dismissing Carrick before the conversation even starts feels so disconnected from reality. Because Manchester United are not failing due to a lack of big names. They are failing because they never allow anything to grow. And this is where the argument about experience starts to fall apart. Because across Europe, clubs are quietly proving that experience alone does not guarantee success. At Arsenal, Mikel Arteta is now leading the Premier League, not because he arrived with decades of trophies, but because the club chose patience over panic. They backed an inexperienced coach. They allowed him to learn on the job. They gave him time to fail, adjust, and grow. In Italy, Christian Chivu is doing something similar at Inter. He may have played as a defender, but as a head coach, he is still relatively inexperienced. And yet, Inter are top of Serie A under his leadership. Not because he is an elite name, but because he has clarity, structure, and belief from above. Look at Brentford. After Thomas Frank moved on, they trusted Keith Andrews, a coach with far less managerial experience. And right now, Brentford are outperforming where many expected them to be. That decision wasn't about pedigree, it was about fit. And this is the key point. Experience does not automatically mean progress. It does not automatically mean titles. And it certainly does not guarantee stability. Manchester United know this better than anyone. They have hired experienced managers. They have hired decorated managers. They have hired serial winners. And yet, the cycle keeps repeating. So when people say United needs someone bigger or better, the question becomes very simple. Better at what exactly? Because football right now is rewarding coaches who grow with the club, not those who arrive fully formed and demand instant success. And if United are serious about operating a modern head coach model, then trusting the right inexperienced coach might not be a risk. It might actually be the correction. And this is where the reaction from certain Manchester United legends starts to make more sense. Because for players of Roy Keane's generation, Manchester United was built on dominance, immediate authority, clear hierarchy, the best players, the best manager, no debate. That version of the club did not need patience. It did not need rebuilding phases. It did not need learning curves. So when they look at today's United, they are not just analysing a team. They are confronting a reality that no longer matches their own experience. This club is no longer the most powerful force in English football. It no longer dictates terms to the league. And it no longer attracts the finished article at manager level with guarantees attached. That is an uncomfortable truth. Because accepting a coach like Michael Carrick means accepting that Manchester United are no longer at the top of the mountain. It means accepting that growth now comes before dominance, that development comes before trophies. For some former players, that feels like lowering standards, but in reality, it is recognizing where the club actually is. There is also something deeply human at play. When former legends speak, they are measuring the present against the peak of their own careers, against teams they were part of, against standards they helped create, and subconsciously, any new version of Manchester United that does not resemble that era can feel wrong, even if it is necessary. Maybe this is not about bitterness. Maybe this is not about jealousy. It is about identity. The club they knew no longer exists. And the club that exists now requires a different kind of leadership. One that builds quietly. One that grows into authority. One that earns belief over time rather than demanding it on arrival. Michael Carrick represents that shift. And that is why the resistance to him is not really about results or experience or even trophies. It is about accepting that Manchester United must become something new before it can ever become great again. And this is why Manchester United finally have a chance to break the cycle instead of restarting it yet again. Because for the first time in years, the club is not being forced into a decision by panic. There is no crisis. There is no collapse. There is no need to save the season. In fact, mathematically, the opposite is true. If Manchester United were to win all their remaining games, they wouldn't just qualify for Europe. They would be right in the title conversation. That matters. Because when Roy Keane says that even winning every game wouldn't be enough, what he's really saying is that outcomes no longer count. And once results stop mattering, football stops being football. Nobody is arguing that Michael Carrick should be crowned the long-term answer today. What is being argued is something far more reasonable. Give him a genuine run. Let him take this team through a full season cycle. Let him manage the dips as well as the highs. Let him face adversity, pressure, expectation, and scrutiny over time. Because that is how you actually learn whether someone is capable. Manchester United have not done this in 13 years. 6 permanent managers have come and gone. Each time, the club reset. Each time, the squad was reshaped. Each time, the cycle restarted. And each time, the same problems returned. Right now, Carrick has done something many bigger and better managers failed to do. He has brought clarity. He has brought structure. He has brought belief. Players look settled. Performances look coherent. And most importantly, the team looks like it understands what it's trying to be. That does not guarantee success. Nothing does. But tearing it up again, before the story has even begun, guarantees one thing: another restart, another rebuild, another few years lost. So the real question isn't whether Michael Carrick is already elite. The question is whether Manchester United are finally brave enough to let something grow. Because breaking the curse doesn't come from finding the perfect name. It comes from stopping the endless search for one. And for the first time in a long time, United have a choice. They can repeat history, or they can let it change. If you disagree, or if you think Roy Keane is right and United still need an immediate elite manager, say why. Because that debate matters more than the noise.